Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Forza Horizon 4 video. Today we're doing another head-to-head comparison. It's an interesting one today. So we're doing muscle cars versus supercars, and as you can see, here's the supercar. It's the McLaren 570Z. Came out in 2015. Here's the stats as well: 562 brake horsepower. Although in PS, I can't remember what PS stands for, but in PS that's 570. So that's why the car is named after that figure. But anyway, 600 Newton meters of torque, weighs just under 1400 kilograms. And the engine, of course, is a 3.8 litre twin turbo V8. It's mid-engined and rear-wheel drive, like many other supercars. And here's the muscle car. It's the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, and 707 horsepower from its 6.2 litre V8 supercharged. Got massive supercharger, actually, one of the biggest in production. So 882 Newton meters of torque. It weighs just over 1900 kilograms, and it's front engined but rear wheel drive. So again, very typical muscle car layouts. So there you go. There's the two cars going head to head. According to the Forza PI performance index, McLaren is higher rated, but you know, you can never trust them. Anyway, we're now going to compare their designs. This is the McLaren, so very typical sort of supercar McLaren design. It's got a sharp front end, the headlights sort of in the shape of the McLaren logo, and down the side, again, sleek, very supercar-like, and got those scoops there for cooling the engine, of course, and wheels, normal McLaren wheels, and right away, of course, you've got those scissor doors, which, again, many supercars have this, and under the bonnet, very tiny boot. But then again, nobody cares about practicality in a supercar. That's basically the definition of a supercar, really. But anyway, as you can see, there's the engine in the middle, just behind the driver's head, and around the back, as you can see, you've got, again, pretty normal McLaren design, although actually it is pretty hard to read the McLaren logo because it is the same colour as the carbon fibre at the rear. But anyway, as you can see, dual exhaust pipes. It's actually pretty well hidden, actually. Didn't notice that when I first recorded this. But anyway, here's the Dodge, and as you can see, pretty typical muscle car as well. Typical Challenger specifically as well. Very boxy design. So from the front, you can see very aggressive looking front end, and also these headlights. One thing I think, if I remember correctly, is that they used one of them as an air intake for the engine because it consumed that much fuel, so it had to intake more air to be able to have a good fuel mix in that engine to produce the power it does. So anyway, oh, I've accidentally gone off. Anyway, down the side, oh, by the way, you've got a front splitter there as well. But anyway, down the side you've got that Hellcat logo, you know, because of the car's name. But yeah, again, very normal for a Challenger. Nothing really that much special, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, towards the rear of the car, you've got, again, pretty boxy design, and there's that tiny little spoiler there as well, something that the McLaren doesn't have, interestingly. But yeah, nothing really else to say. Again, dual exhaust pipes, and the boot space, well, I mean, it's bigger than the McLaren's, but again, it doesn't really matter on these kind of cars. So there you go, that's the designs looked over in both these cars. And oh yeah, the doors, they're just normal sideways doors, in case you're wondering. But anyway, that's that done. Now let's go on to some driving, actually. So that's the sound of the McLaren. As you probably guessed, we're doing a sound check as the first sort of test, and here's the Dodge. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I recorded the sound of this Dodge at this particular time, because it's at the racetrack where there's already a lot of background noise from cars that don't exist. But anyway, you can vote in the comments down below which car sounds the best. Personally, I can't decide actually, to be honest. Both these cars are unique. They sound different kind of. Well, say different layouts. They're not exactly, because they're both V8s, but you know. Anyway, let's move on to some proper driving. So first up, we're going to do straight line speed performance. I just noticed that my characters were still wearing winter clothing. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So these are the settings I'm going to run with both cars. Yeah, pretty standard for me on playing this game. But anyway, let's get into the test. And off the line, bit of wheel spin, having to manage the power a lot because of the wheel spin on initial acceleration. But now we're pulling down the straight. It's a quarter mile, so let's see its quarter mile time. It's 14.5. I think it's a quarter mile. Yeah, it is a quarter mile. 400 meters. That's a quarter of a mile. But anyway, that's the time for the McLaren to chase after, 14.515. So let's see now what the McLaren can do. I'm not exactly sure whether it can beat it, because of course it has got less power, but then it has got a lot less weight. Actually bogged down a little bit off the start, but getting a lot better traction than the Dodge. And let's see what kind of time it can pull off. It seems like we're at a much higher speed at the end of the straight, and that's a 13.1. The Dodge was 14.5, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Wow, that McLaren is a rocket ship, as it seems, in a straight line. 1.4 seconds quicker. Although a lot of that is down to the launch, to be fair, because a quarter mile more representative of its initial launch. But yeah, that's the straight line speed quarter mile test done. Now we're going to do a track test for both cars. We're doing it around this Falcon Arrowhead circuit. Now, last time I said that circuit that I sort of created myself on this game was going to be the track that I'd test all of the cars on. Well, that's a lie. No, I'm not going to. Let's be honest, it's not a great circuit, and it doesn't really show that much the car's performance, because, you know, more cornering ability. But this has a bit of everything. Straight line speed around this banking, as you can see. Starting off with the Dodge's lap, this banking is easy flat in almost every car. But anyway, braking for this first heavy braking zone off the track. So you can see scrabbling for grip. Doesn't look particularly planted, as you can see. The front end not really biting, and neither is the rear. So heading around this right-hander, you can see the rear getting away from the car. And now heading into this banked left-hander, third gear through here. Avoid the white line, because you want to use the banking, which allows you to carry more speed. And now through the penultimate corner, off-camber right-hander, same with this left as well. And let's see what we can set as we cross the line. Scrabbling for grip across the line, and it's going to be a 101.5. 101.595. So yeah, there you go, that's the lap set from the Dodge. And as you can see, trying a second lap, not really working. But yeah, that was the best lap that I managed to get out of this Dodge. Now let's see what the McLaren can do. So starting the lap again, through this banking, easy flat. Although this time in the McLaren I choose to keep it in fourth. For whatever reason, I seem to struggle with rear stability. I mean, this car doesn't have a rear wing, but that shouldn't really make much of a difference. Pretty cheeky with the track limits there. There's no real track limits around this track. It's just the checkpoints, which shouldn't be too hard to get. Now through this right-hander, much better through that, sticking much better through that right, so looking good so far. Now through this left, the Banks corner seems to be picking a bit more understeer than the Dodge, but as we head through the penultimate corner, rear stability is exactly what you need through these corners. A bit of understeer through the final corner, but you know, traction absolutely brilliant, and across the line 57.8. So again, this supercar, this McLaren, has absolutely smashed that muscle car around the track, 4 seconds almost quicker than that car. And as you can see, again on my second attempt, not really doing anything, but there you go, that's the end of the comparison. The McLaren, well, seemingly dominating this particular head-to-head comparison, and yeah, that shows that in this particular case, supercars will beat muscle cars. But let me know in the comments if you want to see another type of comparison between these two car types. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and comment of any other kind of head-to-heads you'd like to see on this game or any other game, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Forza Horizon 4 content. Of course, there are F1 2020 content and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.